All right, we're going to watch friend of the show, Andrew Callaghan, on CNN, folks. He went on Don Lemon's show, and apparently things got a little awkward.
Committee's final public meeting, and we have new CNN reporting on the White House and how they're keeping an eye on the committee's work. Plus, Russia is increasing its assault on Ukraine's critical infrastructure. New message from President Zelensky. Also, jury selection set to begin today for the trial of former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio. The far-right group leader has been
Agent. Why? Get it after. Do you need anything in there? Oh my God, Mom.
charged with seditious conspiracy in the January 6th Capitol attack. He denies the charges.
Our next guest actually spent time with him in the days leading up to January 6th. It's all on camera as well for a new HBO documentary.
In 2020, shit got super serious. Protests, pandemics.
Basically, it's slavery.
Remember that?
Andrew's going to be on the stream the day that the documentary is releasing, by the way. So look forward to that.
We think that they're trying to steal our election. All you have are personal attacks.
Info war, not physical war.
My name's Andrew Callaghan. This is the story of the events that led up to the January 6th Capitol riot. Do you ever feel like you've gone too far down the rabbit hole?
So joining us now is the director, producer, and stars in this documentary called This Place Rules, which debuts on HBO December 30th, Andrew Callaghan. Andrew, I mean, this is a lot. This is a deep dive into this documentary. Yeah. And there's so much to talk about here when it comes to who you spent time with, what you saw. But, you know, when it comes to what's happening today, Enrique Tarrio, he was not at the Capitol on the 6th, but he still played a role in this, and he's facing some of the most serious charges that are stemming from that day. What did you see from him as you were shooting this?
Yeah, I just talked to him in the lead up to the January 6th Capitol riot. Just hung out with him a little bit in D.C. and Miami and elsewhere.
And what did you learn about him?
He sells T-shirts. He's the chairman of the Proud Boys.
Chairman.
Yeah.
So no details about his involvement, his state of mind, or anything?
I think what happened here is that he thought he was going to talk about the documentary, and then the angle was just full-blown, talk about the Proud Boys, talk about Enrique Tarrio. So he got, like, weirded out a little bit.
I mean, I don't think the movie's not just about, like, the Capitol riot and all that. It's also about, like, media echo chambers. You know what I mean? And, like, the dangers of the 24-hour news cycle and how I think mainstream media, like Fox and even CNN, like, competes for views by running constant 24-hour news cycles based upon fear, division, outrage, and panic, probably to, like, sell ads. So it's not just about the Capitol riot.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. First of all, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I'm not exactly sure of how that played into people going into the Capitol and rioting on January 6th. There's nothing fake about CNN.
Oh, I'm not saying, like, fake news. I'm just saying ramping people up and increasing division during that period of time. Just watching people kind of fall down the rabbit hole and be pushed into action and, like, just, yeah, falling down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
Yeah, I think more people would consider, you know, what's happening online and what happened with the former president and the messaging that he was putting out there and QAnon and so forth.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree 100% with that as well.
Yeah. So listen, there are literally so many jaw-dropping moments in your documentary, including a weightlifting scene with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Yeah, for sure. He can bench press a lot, actually.
Why would you put that in? Why'd you spend so much time with him, and why is he such a big part of this film?
Well, I mean, you know, I just think that, like, whenever we were filming for the documentary, there was just certain moments that were super surreal that just kind of happened, and I felt like we had to kind of leave the footage in. So the Alex Jones weightlifting, whiskey drinking scene would also be one of those moments that I couldn't, like, leave out of the movie, for sure.
One thing that also stood out was what you heard from people when it comes to, like, conspiracy theories. I mean, there were parts where, like, children were shouting conspiracy theories. And I wondered, as you talked to these people, if you got the sense that they actually believed what they were saying or what your takeaway was.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people, believe what they're saying. I just think that, like, the echo chambers in the media, especially more fringe media that a lot of these people are consuming, is pretty all-encompassing, and especially the mythology of QAnon, like, consumed a lot of people's lives during this period of time, and it kind of, like, just became everything they wanted to fight for up until the Capitol riot. So that particular scene where I spoke with that family in Georgia, where it was like that the structure and whole basis of their family was like based upon Q and following that kind of lore, was definitely unsettling for sure. But yeah, it's interesting to see where it is now because, I guess hard QAnon stuff has kind of dissipated in terms of like, no one posts on the Q boards anymore, but it's kind of bled into like mainstream conservative thought.
Yeah. I do think we should point out a lot of
Don Lamald, dude, he is not happy at all.
Those conspiracies are not from legitimate media. That's from like social media and websites where those things are pushed in like dark corners of the internet.
Oh yeah, but it's like people spend their whole time in these dark corners of the internet, so it feels very real to them, especially because I think the biggest problem is probably media literacy and like taking a lot of this information that's false as fact because of, you're seeing it on Facebook, you're seeing it on Newsmax, you're seeing it on One American News Network, places like that.
Yeah. Andrew Callaghan, thank you very much. Best of luck with this. This Place Rules debuts on HBO and streams on HBO Max. That's on December 30th. Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, he compared him to Fox News, so I understand why. I mean, yeah, he was talking about the 24-hour clickbait news cycle, which CNN absolutely does engage in, and its impact. But he's not wrong about that. But also, he's just something that mainstream news does not like at all is being called out. Like they're very, I don't know. They believe that they're very. They believe that they're above it. You know what I mean? They believe they're above any kind of criticism whatsoever. So it's not great when despite them being sanctimonious, some kid in their eyes comes in and fucking and says some shit directly to their face. They're not going to enjoy that. Wait, hold on one second. I got to do something on the side here. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good.